Good morning guys, it's tech time, and in today's video we will be talking about the top 5 most biggest changes in smartphones since the iPhone 1, which was released in 2007. This is going to be a really interesting video, so let's get started. On number 5 we have bigger display. When smartphones were first coming on the scenes of the market, people wanted to have compact phones. This was mostly because keypad phones used to be small and people at the time preferred it more. But the phone which made people rethink their choices for a bigger display first started when the Samsung Galaxy Note came out. It had a 5.29-inch display, which in today's standard is what the smaller versions of phone have as default. But at the time, phone like the iPhone 4S, which was released that year, only had a 3.5-inch display, which in comparison is even more small. But it was because of the Note that today phones are bigger than even some small tablets. Heck, the Note 10 from last year had a 6.8-inch display. It's interesting to think how people of today would use a small phone from 2012. Now let's move on from bigger display and move to the next number. That is edge-to-edge display. In this number we have bezel-less displays. After people realized that they wanted bigger displays, they also realized that the bezel had to be shortened to get bigger displays, because the bezel used to take 30 to 40% of the front, and then companies started a race to get a phone without any bezel. And this competition got a major boost when the iPhone 10 was released with a notch. Companies did experiment with big and small teardrop notches and punch hole cameras for the cameras, and some even went beyond plus ultra and made the section of the phones that we now call pop-up cameras, with the first one being the Oppo Find X. Some even put a second display on the back and removed the selfie camera completely, like the Nubia X. And that is how people started craving screens without any interruptions. But this move changed the whole direction of where smartphones were headed. The parting with Jack. Well, until now, all the changes that came out were really good. But this one was the one which made people sad. And that is the removal of the headphone jack. This sad story first started when the iPhone 7 and the dongle was introduced, a device that used to get lost every week. The change was made because the headphone jack took too much space and they wanted to put a haptic engine in the phone. After this followed some memes of the bizarre idea of Apple cutting off the headphone jack, but slowly companies decided the headphone jack had to go and started the killing of the headphone jacks, and the final nail in the coffin was done by Samsung, who were devoted to the headphone jack but killed it off in the Samsung Note 10 last year. But a blessing it gave while going away was the surge of wireless earphones, and now all the big companies have a wireless earphone in their lineup. We can even find wireless earphones with very affordable prices now. But phones with a headphone jack is now considered a really good feature. On number 2 we have ultrawide cameras. Coming on to something which changed the direction for the better is the ultrawide camera. The smartphone that made the first impact was the Samsung Galaxy S10 or the OnePlus 7 Pro. In my opinion though, I can't really pinpoint the one who made the bigger impact, but after the introduction of ultrawide and its uses, people went crazy for it. People preferred it more than the telephoto camera that nobody was using. But the ultrawide camera was a huge hit and was a push in the right direction for smartphones. Now let's move on to number 1, which is high refresh rates. The phone to come with a high refresh rate and made everyone realize how good a high refresh rate display was the OnePlus 7 Pro. After that, people wanted high refresh rate display as the standard for the upcoming phones of the year. Everyone agrees how good it is to have a high refresh rate display. It makes the phone feel more snappy and faster compared to the same spec phone with a lower refresh rate. The importance of refresh rate has increased so much in such a short time that some people butcher phones off their list if the refresh rate is lower than 90 Hz. With this, our list of features that change the course of smartphones comes to an end. If you enjoyed this video, then go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment down below on what I should make next. And as always, goodbye.